is the last time we passed a serious ethics bill in the state of Alabama. I was at Brown's Private Elementary in Montgomery. Compare our laws on campaign finance. Compare our regulations on lobbying. Compare virtually every part of the Alabama ethics law, and what you will see is a weaker set of provisions than you see in virtually any other state in the country. And here's what's the real kicker. Washington, D.C., a place not noted for its virtue, has a far stronger, far stricter, far more demanding set of standards than Montgomery, Alabama has ever thought about. Even the strongest ethics proposals on the table right now being debated by the Alabama legislature would bring us maybe to the 50-yard line. And the last time I checked, we're not a state that's content to be at the 50-yard line in football. We like to score. That's one of the reasons. All those things together are one of the reasons why so many people lack confidence in our government. So I will not be making a large dose of promises in the campaign. I've never believed in that. I think you lay out a vision, you lay out the issues you're going to be focused on, and you try to do it with some specificity and some clarity. But I will be making some detailed promises in one regard. If I have the opportunity to lead this state 2 years from now, first thing we will do is tend to our finances and our budget and our economy. But after the session ends in May, I will tell the legislators, cancel your summer vacation. Most people don't get a 6-month vacation anyway. I'm going to bring you back for a special session, and the subject of that special session is going to be the strongest set of ethics proposals we've ever had in the state of Alabama. I want to preview some of what I will ask them to do. First thing I want to say to them is the way we finance our campaigns has got to be changed. Right now in the state of Alabama, we live under Wild West rules. Anything goes. Whoever has the most bullets left at the end walks away. We put no meaningful limits on people who want to practice and play in the political process. Even the limits we put on corporations are easily evaded because they can funnel money through other ways. Right now, any one of you in this room, if you were so inclined, could write a check of any amount to any candidate. $200,000, $100,000, $250,000. No one writes a check of that amount hoping for good government. You write a check of that amount hoping to get something. Nobody makes that kind of investment in a politician just for the love of it, typically. We ought to put a hard and fast cap in place, $5,000 per individual contribution, $5,000 primary, $5,000 runoff, $5,000 general. In addition to that, right now, unions, political parties, PACs can give as much as they want, and they often do. We ought to put a limit in place of $10,000. None of those entities can give more than $10,000 per campaign cycle. Political parties in Alabama can give an unlimited amount. And some of you may say, well, that's okay. You know, political parties ought to be involved in the process. Here's the problem. People use the political parties to funnel in money from all kinds of sources. So the big players in Alabama politics simply give their money to the party. And they call the party chairs and they say, your $100,000 is coming. Now, where's that meeting next week that you promised me? You told me you'd have 3 state senators lined up for him next week. I got a key bill coming up. The $100,000's on the way. $25,000 limit on contributions contributions for political parties one time in general election. Some of the problem with the way we finance campaigns in Alabama. PAC-to-PAC transfers. What that means in plain English is that in Alabama it's legal to launder money. An individual can say, my name is Bob Jones. I wish to influence the Alabama governor's race, but don't want anybody to see my hand. I want to do it in a hidden hand way. So I'm going to set up a PAC and call it the Johnson Good Government PAC. And I'm going to put $100,000 into the Johnson Good Government PAC and instruct the treasurer of the PAC to send 5 $20,000 checks to 5 people running for statewide office, governor, or running for Alabama legislature. All you will see in the disclosures is the PAC cutting the check. You won't see where the money came from. That gets you 5 years in most places, and it's called money laundering. It's called the way you finance campaigns in the state of Alabama. That needs to end. Now, here's another problem. There's nothing wrong with companies or entities employing lobbyists. There's nothing wrong with that. They have the right to do that. Many good organizations, public and private, hire lobbyists. Some of you do that for a living. That's okay. But there have to be rules of engagement. One rule of engagement ought to be that state government is not a revolving door. So there ought to be a strict requirement that if you're in public life in this state at the executive or legislative level, you don't get to leave and go into the lobbying business unless a period of time has passed. Here's another problem. It is a common practice for people in the lobbying world to curry favor by giving gifts. And by the way, politicians don't want gifts that are wrapped up in a bag. They don't want Christmas presents. They like free meals. Right now in Washington, D.C., it is against the law for a lobbyist to give any kind of gift, including a meal or including a ticket to something to a member of Congress or to a member of the Obama administration. Alabama ought to be willing to play and live by the same set of rules. A total gift ban. Right now, the governor, who's done some very good things in this regard, is proposing a partial gift ban with a number of exceptions. I think we ought to have a total gift ban with no exceptions. If you can't afford to eat at Buzz or Sinclair's in Montgomery, you don't have to be a member of the Alabama legislature. That's your choice. If it is powerfully important to you to go to every Alabama-Auburn season game, buy season tickets. Don't think because I'm Senator so-and-so or Representative so-and-so, I get my tickets. Conflict of interest. One of the things that's going on in the state right now, as you all know very well, is an intensive investigation of efforts by the junior college system to wield improper influence. Those kinds of scandals will disappear in the future if we have a very simple rule. If you are a state senator or state representative, you cannot use your discretionary fund for the benefit of your employer. And you cannot lobby another legislator for the benefit of your employer. The heart of the junior college system is the junior colleges put legislators on their payroll with the theory that they would be their best advocate in Montgomery. If we enact conflict of interest rules that say you can't make any advocacy for your institution, you can't call the chairman of the Senate Finance Committee or the House Finance Committee and say, we need an extra $50,000 at my school, 4-year or 2-year. And you can't take your discretionary funds, which are meant to be used for public education in your district, to give to your employer. That is self-dealing. We ought to prevent that. It's fair and reasonable. I mentioned that we're number 4 in the country in the number of officials under indictment. I want to make this very clear. What I'm about to say is not meant to engage anybody's situation in this state today or in this community.